Hello guys, and thank you for visiting my YouTube channel Spanish for English Speakers with Jen. In today's video, we're going to learn some things we should know about conjugating verbs in the present tense. So let's get started. Okay, let's start talking about the infinitive verbs. Infinitive verbs are those that are not conjugated, right? Like to play, to sleep, to dance. All verbs in Spanish that are in the infinitive form end in ar, ir. Por ejemplo, for example, caminar, comer, compartir. And of course, I have an example here. Caminar. So the way to conjugate this verb in the present tense, and this one is a regular verb, is this way. Yo camino, tú caminas, él, ella, usted camina, nosotros, nosotras caminamos, ustedes caminan, ellos, ellas caminan. So I put the ending next to the verb because I want you to memorize how it ends for a verb that ends in AR or R. Because for all the verbs that end in R, it's going to be the same ending, always, as long as it's a regular verb and ends in AR. Every single verb that ends in AR will be conjugated this way. Actually, you just have to learn how it ends for each personal pronoun because it'll be the same way, regardless the verb you use, as long as the verb ends in AR and is a regular verb. Let's try with a different verb. Cantar, to sing. Yo canto, tú cantas, él, ella, usted canta, nosotros cantamos, ustedes cantan, ellos cantan. So it's going to be the same ending as well. Let's see how it works for verbs that end in ER or er. Here we have two verbs, comer and beber. For those verbs, the ending is going to be the same. It's exactly the same rule. If it ends in ER and it's a regular verb, the ending is going to be the same for each verb that ends in ER. So let's conjugate comer, to eat. Yo como, tú comes, él, ella, usted come, nosotros comemos, ustedes comen, ellos, ellas comen. Beber, to drink. Yo bebo, tú bebes, él, ella, usted bebe, nosotros bebemos, ustedes beben, ellos, ellas beben. And let's see how it works for verbs that end in ir. As well, here I put two verbs. So we have compartir, to share, vivir, to live. Yo comparto, tú compartes, él, ella, usted comparte, nosotros compartimos, ustedes comparten, ellos, ellas comparten. Vivir. Yo vivo, tú vives, él, ella, usted vive, nosotros vivimos, ustedes viven, ellos, ellas viven. It's the same rule. The ending is going to be the same. Of course, we have irregular verbs that end in ar, ir. We conjugate them in a different way. Like in English, we have to learn how to conjugate irregular verbs by heart. Here we have three irregular verbs. Estar, to be. Ser, to be. Ir, to go. If you haven't watched the video about the verb to be, how you can use the verb to be in Spanish, please click on the tag on top so you can learn how to use the verb to be in Spanish. Let's continue. So, estar. Yo estoy, Tú estás. Él, ella, usted está. Nosotros estamos. Ustedes están. Ellos, ellas están. Ser. Yo soy. Tú eres. Él, ella, usted es. Nosotros, nosotras somos. Ustedes son. Ellos, ellas son. Ir. Yo voy. Tú vas. Él, ella, usted va. Nosotros vamos. Ustedes van. Ellos van. Of course, I have some tips. In some verbs ending in er or ir, change the last consonant in the first person singular. Here we have mecer, to swing or to rock, and distinguir, to distinguish. So for these two verbs, we have to change the last consonant in the first person singular. Let's see. Yo meso. Tú meces. Él, ella, usted mece. Nosotros mecemos. Ustedes mecen. Ellos mecen. Distinguir. Yo distingo. Tú distingues. Él, ella, usted distingue. Nosotros distinguimos. Ustedes distinguen. Ellos distinguen. This is a rule or a tip in which you have actually to learn the verbs in which you have to apply this tip. It's like the irregular verbs. You have to learn by heart the irregular verbs so you know how to conjugate them. In verbs ending in ducir or in a vowel plus ser, a z is added before the c in the first person singular, except for the verbs hacer, mecer, and coser. And of course, here we have some examples. The first verb, conducir, to drive. Yo conduzco, tú conduces, él, ella, usted conduce, nosotros conducimos, ustedes conducen, ellos conducen. If you notice, this verb ends in ducir, as the rule explained, and you have to add a letter Z before the C for the first person singular. And then we have conocer, to meet. On this one, we have a vowel plus ser at the end. So you have to do the same. Yo conozco, tú conoces. Él, ella, usted conoce. Nosotros conocemos. Ustedes conocen. Ellos conocen. And here we have an exception, which is the verb hacer. So this one has a vowel plus ser. But on this case, we don't have to change or add the letter Z before the C. That'll change completely. So, yo hago, tú haces. Él, ella, usted hace. Nosotros hacemos, ustedes hacen, ellos hacen. In many verbs ending in iar or uar, the letters I and U in the singular and the third person plural must be written with an accent or an accent mark. This rule is also valid for the verbs prohibir and reunir. So here we have the examples. Espiar. Yo espío. Tú espías. Él, ella, usted espía. Nosotros espiamos. Ustedes espían. Ellos espían. As the rule says, we have to add an accent mark for the singular and the third person plural. Then we have actuar. Yo actúo. Tú actúas. Él, ella, usted actúa. Nosotros actuamos. Ustedes actúan. Ellos actúan. Prohibir. Yo prohíbo. Tú prohíbes. Él, ella, usted prohíbe. Nosotros prohibimos. Ustedes prohíben. Ellos prohíben. In verbs ending in huir, a Y must be added before the endings that do not begin with I. Here we have the verb sustituir, to replace. Yo sustituyo. Tú sustituyes. Él, ella, usted sustituye. Nosotros sustituimos. Ustedes sustituyen. Ellos, ellas sustituyen. So as the rule explains, this verb ends in huir. Instead of saying yo sustituyo, you would say sustituyo. And then we have contribuir. Yo contribuyo. Tú contribuyes. Él, ella, usted contribuye. Nosotros contribuimos. Ustedes contribuyen. Ellos contribuyen. A lot of information means more to practice. So guys, I know that in this video you learned a lot of things about conjugating verbs in the present tense. It's important that if you didn't understand something about the video, something about conjugating a verb, just watch the video again so you can practice again. It's important that you understand every of the rules because that is going to help you conjugating verbs in the present tense. If you have any question about this video, you can put it on the comment section below, or you can send me an email at SpanishForEnglishSpeakersWG@gmail.com. You can hit on subscribe or you can hit on like if you like this video. I hope to see you soon and thank you for watching.